As is my custom, when I go to Mass, I spend the first few minutes doing what we call an act of contrition, where I examine my behavior and thoughts for the week and identify those things which have caused concern to me and to God, and I confess those and ask for tell Him I will change my life, I will stop doing those things, and ask for forgiveness. So that's called an act of contrition, and that's what I do. And again, this last Sunday, when I went to church, I did the same thing, and I started to do my usual routine, and of course, once again, I identified some behavior that really disturbs me, it upset me. And so once again, I had to confess it, but all of a sudden, I just got very upset with myself, and I got very upset, and I said, God, I said, I have this blind spot in my soul, and I don't seem to be able to remove it. Time and time again, I come and confess it to you. Time and time again, I resolve not to do it again, and time again, I have to ask for your forgiveness, and it's not working. And God, the only thing I know how to do is when I can't do something, I have to make a decision to turn it over to you. And so God, I ask you now, please, please, remove this blind spot from my soul, that I can no longer do these things that are really repugnant to me, and I'm sure repugnant to you. And that was the end of it. So then Mass began. I should tell you that my wife and I are front row Joes. We sit right up in the front of the church with an unobstructed view of the altar, because we both like to be close to the altar and close to the Mass. And so I'm kneeling there, and I'm looking up at the crucifix, and all of a sudden this voice said to me as clear as a bell, Jim, love is enough. And I knew instantly what he meant. Love is enough. If I practice love in my life, I won't do those things. Those are not loving things. And so as soon as I got home, I got out Paul's letter to the Corinthians, where he defines love. And it's really a beautiful piece if you haven't read it, because it ends up with saying that love is not self-seeking. It doesn't look to get its own way, which is what I usually try to do, is to get my own way. And so it just kind, truthful, just so many good things. And so I knew then that I have to commit myself every day, every minute of every day, to loving, just to love as God loves me. And so it's just not this isn't a big blog, it's not a whole lot of detail, but I think it was very important to me. And now on a daily basis, I have to remember to ask God to help me be loving today, and to do what it is that He would have me do. And I have to remember at night to thank Him for helping me as I go through these days. And it's one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one act at a time, one thought at a time. And with God's help, I can move towards becoming more the loving person He intends for me to be. So I hope these thoughts are useful to you as usual, and as it's helped me on my spiritual journey. Talk to you next time. Bye.